So, you're on the path to getting your professional engineer license at Ontario. And let's be honest, the experience requirement can feel like a huge mountain to climb. But what if you had a clear map? Well, that's exactly what this is. Think of this as your guide to navigating PEO's Competency-Based Assessment, or CBA, system.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by breaking down what CBA actually is. Then I'll walk you through a simple 4-step action plan. We'll dive into those 34 competencies, make sense of that 0 to 5 rating scale, and then we'll tie it all together to show you your clear path to getting that license.
So first up, let's pull back the curtain on the system itself. What in the world is competency-based assessment? Okay, let's just get right to it. What is CBA, and why should you care? I mean, it's easy to look at this as just another pile of paperwork, but it's so much more than that. This is literally the framework PEO uses to confirm that you have the real-world, hands-on skills and judgment to practice engineering safely and effectively. You know, you should really think of the CBA as your chance to shine. It's a system that's been designed to make the whole licensing thing fair, transparent, and consistent for every single person. It lets you go way beyond just a simple resume and give them concrete proof that you're ready to take on the huge responsibilities of being a professional engineer. Now, here's something that's really important to get. You're not doing this alone, but you are absolutely in the driver's seat. It all starts with you, the applicant. You're the one providing all the detailed experience and work examples. Then you've got your validators. These are people who know your work firsthand, and they step in to confirm it. But the final call? That comes from PEO's own assessors, who do their own independent review. It's a really solid system of checks and balances.
Okay, so we know who the players are. Now let's get into the game plan. Here's your 4-step mission to knock this experience requirement out of the park. This, right here, is the core of the whole process, and it's broken down into 4 really clear steps. First, you'll provide a summary of your experience in chronological order. Second, and this is a big one, you'll detail specific examples for each competency. Third, you'll tag in your validators to back up your claims. And fourth, you'll do your own self-assessment. See the pattern? You are in total control of telling your professional story. And here is your secret weapon for making those examples really pop, the Situation, Action, Outcome framework. For every single example, you need to set the scene, the situation. Then, describe the specific actions you took, and you always use the word I. And finally, you explain the outcome. This is how you turn a boring list of job duties into a really powerful story about your skills. Okay, you've got the plan. Now let's get into the heart of the assessment, those 34 competencies that you're going to be showing off. 34. Yeah, I know. That number might look a little intimidating when you first see it. But don't let it fool you. These aren't just a bunch of random hoops to jump through. They're actually a super comprehensive map of all the essential skills a professional engineer needs. And the good news is, they're all grouped together logically. And here's how they're grouped. See? Those 34 competencies are neatly organized into just 7 key categories. You've got the one everyone expects, technical competence. But it also covers things like communication, project and financial management, how well you work in a team, your professional accountability, your understanding of social and environmental impacts, and finally, your commitment to always keep learning. Now listen up, because this part is absolutely critical. Inside those 34, there are 6 that PEO calls professional standards competencies. These are the non-negotiables, things like regulations, safety, and ethics. And because they're so fundamental to protecting the public, PEO requires a higher rating for them. You've got to show you're really solid in these areas. Okay, so we've talked about what you need to show them. Now let's talk about how they measure it. That brings us to the 0 to 5 rating scale. This is how it all gets broken down into numbers, a simple 0 to 5 scale. The best way to think about it is as a journey, right? From learning all the way to leadership. A 0 means you've pretty much only got academic knowledge, while a 5 means you're a leader who needs no supervision at all. The real sweet spot, the target you're aiming for, is to show you've reached at least a level 3 in the required areas. That's the proof that you can work mostly on your own. And here's what's really important to understand. It's all about the level of supervision you need. A rating of 1 means you still need a lot of hands-on guidance. But when you hit a 3, that means you're operating mostly by yourself, and you only need a little support on the really tricky or high-risk stuff. Making that jump from 1 to 3 is what shows PEO you're truly ready for professional practice. All right, let's put all these pieces together and look at the bigger picture, your path to licensure and what this is all really about. This quote just says it all, doesn't it?
Professional engineers must meet high standards to serve the public effectively and ensure public safety. At the end of the day, this whole assessment isn't just about your career. It's about upholding the integrity of the profession and, most importantly, protecting the public.
So, let's just boil this all down. What are the key things to remember? First, don't think of the CBA as a scary test. It's your opportunity to show them what you can do. Second, stick to that 4-step plan like glue. It's your roadmap. Third, master that situation, action, outcome framework to tell amazing stories about your work. And remember, your main goal is to prove you're ready to work independently, because ultimately, this whole thing is about one goal: ensuring public safety and the integrity of our profession. So there you have it. You've got the map, you've got the tools. The only question left is the one you have to answer in your application. How will you demonstrate that you're ready?